How Benjamin Sesko can become complete striker for Man Utd after £74 million investment in forward that has everything. Manchester United have been told that they have hit the jackpot with the signing of Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig in a whopping £74 million, $100 million deal, as the Slovenia international can become a complete striker at Old Trafford. The Red Devils, however, will need to be patient with their new forward, who needs time to realize his full potential. Man Utd told Sesko will become complete striker. Back to shine at Old Trafford, joined Man Utd from RB Leipzig this summer. Recommended external content video. We need your consent to show you content our editorial team embedded from video. You can toggle this and all other embeds from video or crossgoal.com on with one click only and deactivate as well. Always display video content. I confirm that I would like to see external content. Personal identifiable data could be transferred to third parties. What happened? Sesko has had an underwhelming start to his journey in England, as he has yet to feature in Ruben Amorim's starting lineup in the Premier League. However, the former RB Leipzig forward did star in Slovenia's 2-2 draw against Sweden in a World Cup qualifying game, as he contributed with the assist for Zan Vipotnik's late equalizer. The bigger picture. While Sesko has not lived up to the expectations at Old Trafford yet, after the first 3 rounds of Premier League games, his national team strike partner and former Middlesbrough star Andreas Sporer has backed the 22-year-old to be a hit at Old Trafford and be a complete striker. What Sporer said, the 31-year-old spoke highly of his compatriot as he told reporters, "What does he bring to United? Everything. He has speed, power, intelligence, good football IQ. I believe he can be a complete striker in the next 2 or 3 years. But he's still young. He will help Manchester United a lot. They just need to be patient. I believe he'll score the goals, and every year he will be better and better." What next for Sesko? The Red Devils striker will be back in action for Slovenia on Monday as they take on Switzerland in their second World Cup qualifying game. Next Sunday, he is expected to be handed his maiden Premier League start in the Manchester Derby. Liverpool make final decision on Marc Guéhi transfer after Crystal Palace deal collapse. Liverpool saw a deadline day move for Crystal Palace defender Marc Guéhi collapse, but the Reds are reportedly set to wait until next summer before going back in for the center-back. Marc Guéhi arrives at the stadium prior to the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifier match. Liverpool are reportedly planning to renew their interest in Marc Guéhi next summer. The Reds' deadline day bid for the center-back fell through at the last minute, with Crystal Palace retaining their captain. A price tag of approximately £35 million was suggested, as Guéhi's contract expires next summer. Liverpool are expected to face competition when the England international becomes available to negotiate with potential clubs in the new year. However, according to The Times, Liverpool have no intention of pursuing a bargain deal in January. Guéhi has no plans to extend his contract with Palace, which ends next summer, and it seems the current Premier League champions are content to wait. Guéhi playing against Andorra for England, stock. Liverpool still have the experienced pair of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate in their defense, although Konate's contract also ends next summer, and he has been linked with Real Madrid. Joe Gomez remains at Anfield, while Italian center-back Giovanni Leoni joined from Parma in August. Guéhi is reportedly upset about how his deal fell through. He had even recorded a farewell message for Palace fans, only for the London club to cancel the deal due to manager Oliver Glasner's belief that there wasn't enough time to find a suitable replacement, reports The Mirror. We had a meeting in March where we talked about the situation, so again, we know how the situation is, and we have an agreement that we could sell Marc if we have the right replacement in, Glasner said at the end of August. Despite Palace securing a last-minute deal for JD Conbo on deadline day, the 19-year-old French prodigy has less than a full season of senior football experience. We wanted to have this replacement at the beginning of the preseason to be independent from this situation, Glasner added. That was on July 9th, the season started. It's August 31st and there is no replacement in the building, so it's clear one part of the agreement is not fulfilled. That means we can't sell Marc. Guéhi, who continues to be a regular starter for Palace this season, also featured in England's starting lineup against Andorra on Saturday. He played for 76 minutes alongside Dan Burn as the Three Lions secured a 2-0 victory, maintaining their flawless record in World Cup qualifying. England are set to face Serbia on Tuesday, aiming to edge closer to next summer's tournament in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Following this match, Guehi will return to London for Palace's league game against Sunderland on Saturday. Liverpool makes final Marc Guehi decision as risky transfer plan emerges. Liverpool has reportedly made a final decision on a potential move in January for Crystal Palace's Marc Guehi after a deadline day deal collapsed at the last minute. Liverpool will not revisit a move for Marc Guehi in January. Liverpool will reportedly not make a move for Crystal Palace's Marc Guehi during the January transfer window. Guehi was denied a last-minute move to Liverpool on deadline day after Crystal Palace blocked the switch, reportedly following a threat from manager Oliver Glasner to quit if his captain was sold. Guehi's contract runs until next summer, meaning he could leave on a free transfer. Reports suggested that the Reds would meet with Guehi later this month and could revisit a move for the center-back in January, but would face competition from other clubs, with the England international eligible to sign a pre-contract agreement with teams in Europe as soon as the window opens. According to Paul Joyce from The Times, Liverpool will not bid for Guehi in January and will now only sign the defender on a free transfer next summer. The report states that the Reds are adamant they will not enter the market in January for a player entering the final year of his contract who has no intention of agreeing to an extension. If Guehi remains determined to join Arne Slot's side, Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish could face the prospect of losing the player for free, a scenario he has previously described as a financial problem for the club. Parish reportedly discussed Guehi's situation with Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes after the Community Shield clash in early August, during which he was informed that the Reds valued the defender at $47 million. If the club was to make a move for the 25-year-old in January, it is expected that Palace would want $34 million, $13 million less than what Liverpool was prepared to pay last week. Marc Guehi is set to leave Crystal Palace once his contract expires. Liverpool faces competition for Guehi's signature from Manchester City and other top European clubs. City's interest in the defender was first reported by Daily Star 2 weeks ago. The Etihad club reportedly planned to pursue the defender in the summer transfer window, only if central defenders Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake left the club. Ultimately, only Akanji departed, joining Inter Milan on loan with an option to make the move permanent for $17.6 million. Sources close to City suggested there was little expectation that Guehi, 25, would leave Selhurst Park before the window closed. Meanwhile, European giants Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich are also reportedly monitoring Guehi, a reflection of both his talent and his contract situation. Liverpool.com says, "This is a bold move from Liverpool. It was expected the Reds would Guehi in January, but by waiting until summer, the club needs to hope Guehi still wants to join Liverpool next summer, else it risks losing out on the defender altogether." Liverpool braced for a 5-way Marc Guehi transfer war after summer blow. The Liverpool transfer news and gossip as the competition for Marc Guehi is starting to heat up. Marc Guehi saw a move to Liverpool collapse on deadline day. Liverpool will reportedly face heavy competition for the signature of Marc Guehi next year after seeing a deadline day move fall through. The Reds agreed a £35 million deal with Crystal Palace, with the England international then undergoing a medical, but the move collapsed when the Selhurst Park club failed to secure a replacement. And now if Liverpool revisit negotiations in the new year, they are likely to face stiff competition from Manchester City. The Daily Star reports that City were only prepared to enter the market in the last window if defenders Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake had departed. Only Akanji left, joining Inter Milan on loan, with the Serie A side holding a £13 million option to buy. The report adds that City are hoping Palace will agree to a cut-price deal in January, as the sought-after defender is set to become a free agent in the summer. However, it's said that it's not only City keeping tabs on Guehi's situation, as Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich are also interested in signing the England international. Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel praised the FA Cup winner for showing a brilliant attitude after his late move to Anfield collapsed. "Of course we had a chat with him," Tuchel said. "He looks absolutely fine and impressive on the field. He has had a good couple of weeks behind him on the performance side. He has continued like that in camp, and he handles it, his transfer situation, with respect and with a brilliant attitude. He is the main driver of Crystal Palace's success, the captain and the leader, and he played very impressively at the end of last season. Guehi was in international action for England in their 2-0 victory over Andorra on Saturday night, where he featured for 76 minutes before being replaced by Ezri Konsa of Aston Villa. How Liverpool overcame huge obstacle to get Alexander Isak turned to science boffins. Liverpool were forced to call on their science boffins to complete Alexander Isak's record-breaking deadline day transfer. The Reds signed the Swede, 25, for an eye-watering £130 million from Newcastle after a lengthy summer saga. Liverpool called on their fitness boffins to get Alexander Isak's transfer over the line. Arne Slot's side needed to ease fears over Isak's injury history before splashing out £130 million. It saw Isak go on strike in the Northeast after Liverpool had an initial offer turned down earlier in the window. And Arne Slot breathed a sigh of relief as he finally got his man laid on. However, Liverpool were forced to overcome a huge obstacle to get the deal over the line. Isak's injury record became a cause of concern for Chiefs as they attempted to negotiate terms. The hitman missed 39 games out of 114 for Toon, primarily with groin issues. It also saw him sit out more than 200 training days under Eddie Howe. And the Sunday Mirror claims Liverpool were forced to call on their specialist sports scientists to run the rule over Isak's fitness. Transfer gurus were determined to ensure he was not heading down the path of becoming a regular in the treatment room. But the fitness boffins were perfectly happy with Isak's physical state and informed Liverpool that there was no issue in spending a British record transfer fee on him. Indeed, the sports scientists even reckon they can improve Isak's injury record to ensure he misses as few games as possible. It's added that he will be under close observation after returning from international duty with Sweden. And a specialist training plan has already been drawn up, with Isak needing to build up his match fitness after spending most of the summer training on his own. Mark Guehi handling Liverpool transfer collapsed with respect and grace. Mark Guehi has been described as having a brilliant attitude in the aftermath of his collapsed transfer to Liverpool, with the center-back looking absolutely fine in training. Guehi went straight to international duty with England after his transfer to Liverpool collapsed in the final hours of the window on Monday. He was described by The Guardian's Ed Aarons as extremely unhappy that the plug was pulled on the deal, with a suggestion that he was even considering whether to continue as captain. Liverpool are set to make another approach for the 25-year-old, who England manager Thomas Tuchel says is handling the situation with respect and grace. "Of course we had a chat with him," Tuchel told reporters. "He looks absolutely fine. He looks very impressive on the field. He has a couple of very impressive weeks behind him. On the sporting side and the performance side, he is the main driver of Crystal Palace's success. He's the captain and the leader, and played very, very impressive in the end of last season and in the start of this season, and continued exactly like this in camp. So, he was very impressive. He handles the transfer collapse with respect and with grace and with a brilliant attitude. Guehi has a little choice but to pick himself back up and readjust his expectations for the season after coming within hours of becoming a Liverpool player. It remains to be seen whether the club will make a move in January at a discounted rate or wait until the summer when Guehi is available on a free transfer. The status of Arne Slot's current center-back ranks at the turn of the new year could dictate how Liverpool move forward, and the England international will know they will be keeping a close eye on him. Guehi is a member of the senior England squad this month, which has no Liverpool players.